David was the epitome of a model employee. He arrived early, left late, and always went the extra mile. His commitment to his work was unwavering. He took pride in his honesty and integrity. He believed in hard work and playing by the rules. His colleagues admired him, his superiors praised him. David was living the dream. Late one night, while browsing the dark corners of the internet, David stumbled upon GhostWriter. The software promised to manipulate financial data, leaving no trace. It was the perfect solution, a way to inflate his sales numbers without detection. The temptation was overwhelming. David wrestled with his conscience. He knew it was wrong, yet the fear of failure outweighed his morals. He told himself it was a one-time fix, a temporary solution to a temporary problem. He convinced himself that he deserved this. He had worked hard after all. With trembling hands, David downloaded the software. As he uploaded the company's financial data, a shiver ran down his spine. He felt a knot of guilt in his stomach, but it was too late to turn back. He had crossed the line. The next morning, David uploaded the manipulated figures. He felt a surge of relief when his boss congratulated him on exceeding his targets. He was hailed as a hero, a savior of the company. Praise and accolades were showered upon him. The guilt lingered, but it was overshadowed by his newfound success. However, David's triumph was short-lived. The company hired external auditors. They unearthed discrepancies in the financial records. The numbers didn't add up. Suspicion fell upon the department. David's heart sank. He knew his secret was out. He had to act quickly. He needed a scapegoat. David's gaze fell upon Ben, a junior colleague. Ben was new, inexperienced, and eager to please. David saw an opportunity. He subtly shifted the blame onto Ben, planting fabricated evidence on his computer. He watched in silence as Ben was interrogated, accused, and ultimately fired. A wave of relief washed over David. He had successfully deflected the blame. His secret was safe, or so he thought. The auditors were gone, but the experience left a mark on the office atmosphere. Whispers of doubt and suspicion lingered. David's paranoia began to grow. Section 5. Whispers of Suspicion. David couldn't shake the feeling that someone was watching him. His colleagues seemed distant, their smiles strained. Every sideways glance felt accusatory. He started doubting everyone, even his closest friends at work. Sleep became a luxury he could no longer afford. He would jump at the slightest sound. His heart raced every time his phone rang. The guilt gnawed at him, a constant reminder of his betrayal. He had traded his integrity for a moment of glory, and now he was paying the price. Section 6. Trapped in a web of lies. David found himself trapped in a web of his own making. He was living a double life, the charade becoming harder to maintain. His once unshakable confidence crumbled. He was a prisoner of his own deceit. The fear of exposure became a constant companion. He knew it was only a matter of time before the truth came out. Every knock on his door, every email notification sent a jolt of fear through him. His carefully constructed world was on the verge of collapse, and there was nothing he could do to stop it. Section 7. The Price of Deceit. David had sacrificed his principles for success. He had betrayed his colleagues, his friends, and himself. The guilt was a heavy burden, crushing him from within. His once bright eyes were now filled with fear and regret. He was a shell of his former self. The joy had vanished from his life. His work, once a source of pride, now filled him with dread. He had achieved the success he craved, but at what cost? His life had become a living nightmare. Section 8. The Crushing Weight of Guilt. David's conscience was a relentless tormentor. The weight of his actions pressed down on him, suffocating him. Sleep offered no escape, only a relentless barrage of nightmares. He was haunted by visions of Ben, his innocent victim. The guilt was an insatiable beast, demanding to be fed. David tried to silence it with alcohol, with distractions, with anything to quiet the noise in his head, but nothing worked. The guilt was always there, a constant reminder of his betrayal. Section 9. The Anonymous Note. One morning David found a note on his desk. It was simple, devoid of any salutation or signature. It read, "I know what you did." The blood drained from his face. His heart pounded in his chest. Someone knew his secret. The walls were closing in. He was no longer just paranoid. He was caught. The fear that had been simmering within him now boiled over. His carefully crafted facade crumbled. David was left exposed, facing the consequences of his desperate gamble.